Start. Oop. Yeah, recording. And let's see what happens over here. Startoon is live now. There we go. Share. Right. Hey guys. Oh yeah. There we go. Oh, we can even see my little Stimpy art up in the corner. I'm back. All right. Say hello. Robbie, Alex, a couple of the usuals. Excellent. Yeah, sorry, we're coming at you a day and a couple hours late, but regardless, here we are. We're back. Is everything working okay? Because it says something went wrong with me trying to play this video on my...
Yeah.
Okay. Let me find it again. Okay. Michael Peterson. There we go. Look at you guys. Okay. For some reason, it's not playing properly on my computer, but I think that's just my computer. Okay. Tuesday, June 27th at 3:04 p.m. We are finally doing our Monday Noon Live. Thank you guys for tuning in. No pun intended. It's been a busy week. I was out of town for a wedding that I guess due to my highly marketable Startoon chatty skills, I got to MC. A very dear friend of mine got married this weekend. He did it on a Sunday night, so I was out of here yesterday as well, and took a real honest-to-gosh day off yesterday, and even watched just a movie and didn't answer texts and things like that. So, but we're back again, and we're here today, and of course, if you guys have questions, we're here for all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to cover a little bit of general business and talk about what we're doing in terms of the podcasts and things like that. And then, of course, we'll get around to questions. Morgan's here, too. Morgan's homesick today. Hi, Morgan. We were over at 10 this morning, and she was not there. But a couple of general things that I wanted to just talk about. I wanted to congratulate one of our own, Ali Kellner, who created Max, so one of our Startoon creators, Ali Kellner. Her thesis film from Sheridan Nana just got into the animation block party in Brooklyn, which is kind of a big deal little festival that people seem to like. It's very exciting for Ali. I just wanted to pass on a congratulations to her. It's very, very, very cool. I saw her on Facebook wondering if she was going to make the train trip or the bus ride to Brooklyn, which can be a bit of a long one. So maybe that was on Twitter. I don't know. But yeah, awesome news. I have yet to see the whole film. I would love to someday, but she's doing the festival rounds, and we wish her all the best of luck with that. Other interesting stuff. Fearless Fred Kennedy, our good friend Fred, who previously was the voice of Francisco and one of our Startooners in the studio last year. You will know Fred from his time hosting Teletoon at Night. He's also runs the afternoon show on The Edge. He also runs a podcast called the Issue Zero Podcast. And if anybody wants to hear Super Science Friend creator and Tin Man creative founder and partner Brett Jubenville talk about Star Wars and other stuff, I haven't listened to it yet, but you can go over there at Antica... www.anticaproductions.com/issue-0. And with Issue 0 with Fred Kennedy, like I said today, it's on iTunes, all that kind of stuff. You can check out a little bit of some chat time with Brett Jubenville, one of our favorite people around here. I actually did see Brett this morning because we were over at Tin Man. We were recording Laurel Dalgleish, who is the other director of Super Science Friends. We had a morning with her. Excellent shoot this morning. We got a lot of good stuff coming up along those lines. Laurels will start cutting up soon. We had Eric Bauza in the studio last week. Eric is a voice actor based in LA who's done all kinds of awesome stuff. We were subjected to his Trump impression for a good chunk of the time he spent with us. That one should be a bit of fun. We were over at Tunes on Tap about a week or so ago for my first Tunes on Tap experience for a super special interview with someone that we'll share a little bit later. And last week even we had, on top of our voting feedback video, on top of our live event, or our live, on top of everything else we did last week, we also managed to get out a second a Tabitha Fisher extra, Tabitha Draws. Tabitha, we actually went with her while she was doing some life drawing and talked about it, that kind of stuff. So it was a little extra mini for you guys last week during our super busy week. So yeah, it's been crazy. Oh, the Raid Studios podcast that we did will be coming up. So that's this week even. I should tell you guys about that one. We had last Monday, actually, right after the judging event, we went over to the Royal Academy of Illustration and Design, Raid for short. Raid is a studio, a cooperative group. They used to be a co-op, but they're working together more. A lot of the very best comic book types around here in Toronto are based out of Raid. My good friend Kalman Andrzejowski, who is the man behind the Captain Canuck stuff. Ramon Perez, multiple Eisner Award winner, and dapper gentleman Ramon Perez. He's based out of there. Scott Hepburn, who does Nova for Marvel, did Drax the Destroyer for Marvel. Francis Manipul, who did way back, he did The Flash. Wrote and drew Detective Comics for a long time. Writes and draws Trinity for DC. These guys are monsters. They're amazing. So they got a great little stop over near the studio over near Bathurst and College. And we were in there last Monday night with Scott, who I mentioned, Scott Hepburn, Nova, Drax the Destroyer, with Jim Zubkovich, who barely needs any introduction. Currently, he's writing. He's the coordinator for the animation program at Seneca College, and he also his other job is as a writer for Marvel and Image. I think he's writing 5 books a month right now, 4 or 5 books a month, while he does a full-time job. Thunderbolts for Marvel. He did his own book, Wayward for Image. A bunch of stuff, hardly even to keep up with. So he was in. Jay Stevens, one of our judges, who I'm a longtime fan of, and got a chance to kind of ask him some questions and even get a couple books signed. And Rosie Gifford, who should be familiar to all you guys if you watch our podcast. Rosie is a designer in animation and publishes her own book through Chapter House. So we talked about comics, and we talked about animation. We talked about how they kind of go together and don't, and how these guys have all kind of carved out their careers. It's a long one. We're doing it in 2 parts. So this week you're going to get part 1 of the Raid Studios. I don't even know what we're calling it, but our comics podcast. Part 1 and then part 2 next week, because we got a good 3 hours out of that one. And like the sun went down, some beers were consumed. Jim talked a lot, which is great because that's what he does. I barely even had to ask any questions after a little while. So yeah, it's been a really, really busy week or two, and I was very glad to get a little bit of time off yesterday and recharge a little bit so we can keep doing this. You guys have been busy too. The creators group was on fire last week. Right, Amy?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's awesome. You guys, it was fantastic to see it doing what it's supposed to do. You guys were talking to each other. You were asking us questions, all that kind of stuff. And apparently you're very concerned with the constraints of the age.
With the swears.
With the swears. You're very concerned about being potty mouths. I understand. I, by nature, am also a potty mouth. We got feedback from Brandon right there. I think we made a whole other post out of it to give you some guidelines, sort of how their approach comes to dealing with mature subject matter, or how they, just look at that stuff in the first place. There were lots of interesting solutions for swear words that presented themselves on the wall, made up swear words, that kind of thing. Yeah, you seem to be answering your own questions, which is amazing, guys. And we try to chime in wherever we can to help out, but that's what that is there for, and that's what you guys are using it for. It was really rewarding, actually, to see it happen. We also had Agnes from the Rocket Fund, who's essentially our big boss, in the studio last week, and we were telling her all about it, and she just was, she was ecstatic. It was great to see that it's, because we're a lot of things, this Startoon thing, but we are supposed to be a development outreach program, talent development, character development, hand in hand. So the fact that we've given you guys a place to talk to each other and ask questions, and it's actually working this year, that's awesome. That's amazing. So kudos to you guys for helping each other out, for being involved, and for making us look good. I think that's most of my list. There was also a cool announcement last week. G-Kids, the North American distributors for all the Ghibli films. Eric Beckman's one of the founders there. He's actually a former New York Animation Festival, Kids Festival. But they announced, they're a really cool distribution company who have a very strong mandate. Originally it was about distribution for 2D. These guys have had films up for Oscars. Like, they do all the Cartoon Saloon stuff for North American distribution, all the Ghibli stuff. They've had something, just amazing work that they distribute, and are now actually becoming part of the production of. I believe they're involved in The Breadwinner as well as producers or financiers or something along those lines, or just advanced distributors. They have launched a festival that will be starting this October 20th and 22nd in LA at formerly called Man's Chinese. I think it's now TLC Chinese Theater, but Man's Chinese Theater in Hollywood. You know, the one where all the fake superheroes hang out front, and along where the Walk of Fame is. They're doing this thing in partnership with Annecy and Variety Magazine, and there's a very, very strong. I'm going to read from actually one of the articles here. Animation is Film is the name of the festival, and I'm kind of excited about it. It will be taking place in October, sort of after the Ottawa one. Animation is Film is built around 5 core missions, including presenting a highly selective annual showcase of the best new works of animation from around the world. Though it will also champion sport filmmakers who use animation to pursue unique cinematic visions and who are unconstrained by conventional notions of what animation is capable of. And those filmmakers, AIF hopes they can represent all sorts of creators, from female filmmakers to filmmakers from a wide range of cultural, economic, and national backgrounds. In an official statement, G-Kids founder and CEO Eric Beckman commented, "Creating a stateside film festival that recognizes the highest aspirations of animation as a cinematic art form has long been a dream of G-Kids. We are thrilled to bring exceptional animated filmmaking from around the world to audiences." So cool. It was popping up on Cartoon Bird a bunch of other places last week, and I'm really excited. I'm going to see if I can. It'll be probably around when we're wrapping up, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it this year. If I hope this thing works and takes off, and gives the U.S. an Ottawa-style festival for people to go to see animation they otherwise wouldn't have a chance to take a look at. That's exciting to me, and that's what I'm sharing and talking to you guys about today. So, all that being said, which is a fair bit, this week, where are we at? We've got you guys working on your Face Your Fears videos, those creators who are in our 21 moving forward. We had, of course, Frico was our wild card winner, which makes me really happy, and it also makes my 15-year-old daughter really happy. She's a big Frico fan. Outstanding judges in last week. It's interesting to get a new group in, and Brandon is always he's our rock. He's there again. But it's interesting. You can't anticipate. They're a whole new batch of people, and while they have a lot in common with last year's judges, they certainly have their own ideas about what makes a good cartoon and what makes a good cartoon character. So we had a really interesting time. You can check out the whole video if you want to. We posted that up. Lots of good stuff in there. But I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with where this is going. The ones they've picked to go through, of course, are great. We're getting it's going to start getting pretty competitive pretty fast. But yeah, Face Your Fears video you guys are working on now. I've seen you talking to each other already online with your issues of trying to keep it to under a minute. How you guys are dealing with that or not dealing with it. Take your lives in your hands. But yeah, we try to give you guys the framework, and what you do with it is up to you. Things went really well in the first round, and I'm hoping for something just as much fun in the next. So yeah, I'm not too sure. Do we have? Are there any questions jumping around?
Well, some people have said they would like more swearing, and we don't need no donkey bunking restraints.
More swearing. Who wants more swearing?
Tara Odebear.
Tara, I didn't even know you were watching right now. I'm on the wrong page then. Tara Audibert?
Yes.
Odebear? I don't even actually know how you pronounce it, Tara. Tara wants more swearing. Tara, you have outlets for that in your own life. Tara, send us a link to your film, to your project. Where is that? I gotta go back to my own wall right now to get back to here and see who's asking questions. There we go. Startoon's live video. I seem to be missing some questions on mine. There we go. Okay. Brad, Jonathan, we don't need no donkey bunking restraints. Jonathan Coit. All right. Well, I'm very curious to see what comes out of you then. Yeah, Tara, share your stuff. You're working on something these days. Get it up there. More swearing. Wiseacres.
Jonathan Coit asks, will our videos be cut off if they exceed the 1 minute restraint?
No. We were not going to cut anything off. We're trying, guys. The reason why we give you these constraints is because we're trying not to kill you. Okay. We realize how important these things are to you and how much work you put into them. Part of the challenge is to try to make things under constraints because that's really important. That's an important skill to have. But we're not cutting you off. Okay. Your completed work, your complete work is what we're looking for. To share with the judges, it would be unfair of us to do such a thing, and no. So while I mean I don't want to be a dick about the 1 minute. It is a strong recommendation. At the same time, if you go a couple seconds over, it's not a big deal, okay? And I know some of you are just saying fuck it, you're just going to keep going and do whatever you want to do anyhow, as some of you want to do. That's fine. Like we're like I said, we're just trying to make it so that you're not. We don't want to kill you. We want you to be able to do stuff you can finish. Okay, you don't have a ton of time to do it. You're working after hours, and you've only got X number of weeks. But if you are masochists, then whatever, make yourselves happy. Go for it. What else? This is not refreshing automatically for me. I'm not seeing the actual new stuff show up.
Well, there's something.
Mine's a minute. Okay, Brad. Yeah, you're fine, man. Minute 8. Yeah, that stuff's not going to be a problem, guys. Don't you sweat it. Okay. Do your best to keep it short, but we're not going to penalize you for being a few seconds over. Alrighty. Hey, Sean. Let's say hi. Sean Brannigan in the house. Who else are watching? Sorry, this isn't exciting anymore. I bumped into Adam Hines this morning at Tin Man. Adam is formerly of Guys with Pencils. If you want to see some good podcasts, these guys know what they're doing. Adam knew what he was doing. Guys with Pencils was sort of like in Canada here, our industry-defining creators podcast, and they had to stop doing it a couple years ago, or a couple, I don't know when, a little while ago. Brad's was originally 2 minutes. But yeah, it's like they really knew what they were doing. But I've got envy. They made it look easy, and now we're doing this, and I just can't even compare the two things. But it was nice to bump into him and have a little chat. We're gonna have to book him in, I think, for something. Get the Guys with Pencils back together, a reunion show over here. Oh God, you can see, and on the back wall. There we go. So Eric Bauza left behind his Stimpy artwork from Visitor. Eric was the voice of Stimpy in the second iteration, the Ren and Stimpy, whatever it was, the adult night party, the Spike TV version of it. But we've got his whole origin story that we'll come to. We'll share with you guys later. But yeah, that's coming up. But there, he managed to draw a little something for us before we left. And you can see on the wall my wish list that's happening right now. So we do have actually, where, over here? Oh, yeah. So Trent Corey, we're doing an interview with him. He's a Disney animator, worked on Moana. He used to go to Algonquin. We're getting him via Skype, I think, tomorrow. At some point, we're going to get these two fellas, Mark and Todd, Neptune Studios. We're going to get these guys chatting with us. Down here, I'm really hoping. Paul Souls. I really want to get this guy in. Paul Souls, for those of you who don't know, I mean, he currently is an actor on it's a web series called My 90-Year-Old Roommate, I think it's called. And he is an older fella. He was the original, he's the first ever non-comic actor, or actor to portray Spider-Man. The really old 1960s Spider-Man cartoon he was the voice of. Done a ton of other stuff. He was the Rocket Robinson. At the time, it was Rocket Robin Hood and Spider-Man being produced at the same time. He's done a ton of other stuff. But Paul Souls is like, that's a dream of mine to get him in here, or even like any way I can get him. But we're trying to get that. And then down here, Chad Van Galen. Chad Van Galen is a musician who also animates all his own music videos and made a really cool sci-fi short film, like a 17-minute short film that we saw at Ottawa last year. Somehow he's good at both things. So we're going to try to get him probably via Skype. So there's a bunch of other stuff, but that's, you can see that stuff on the wall. It's pretty easy to see that's going on over there. That's what's happening in our world. Bijan, hi. You guys, do you have questions? Anything I can help clarify for you while you're working on your Face Your Fears videos? We've been able to respond to them on the creators group mostly, I think, and we seem to be handling it fairly well, or you guys seem to be handling it amongst yourselves. Any other questions? This is the time. Please feel free to ask away. We're thinking of even actually trying to set up one of these Mondays. We might hand you over to Andy Greeling, see if he'll do one of the updates. Oh, Alex Scudder Martin's in the email telling us we're in the next round. It says, the earlier you upload your entry, the more claps you can get. Is that before submission day, or does this mean the day of? It's just day of. Don't worry about it. Because we are seeing that some people are dragging their heels a little bit. So we're just trying to encourage you. That's all. We're just trying to be encouraging. Every clap counts, as we've seen. I don't think you have too much to worry about there, Alex. Okay. The voting starts once the in that week. It starts as of then.
Can I have?
Sure.
Mike's being too lenient. Your stuff needs to be in by noon because it makes my job harder if it's not.
It is true.
Thank you.
It is true. Be nice to Amy, guys, okay? We did have a real scramble. Last time was our first time this year, and we did have a bit of a scramble making sure that everything worked properly, and we had some stragglers, and we had a couple people drop out, and all of that was pretty much garbage. You know what? Get your shit in by noon, people. Don't make me call you. Don't make me send her after you. She's a pit bull. She's a pit bull. No, come on. We have a little bit of room to be flexible, but let's not make Amy's life miserable. She works really hard for you guys, for all of us. We have a few people in here who help out on those days. So, and we did have, and again, we had to deal with some people dropping out. I'm hoping that this round is not similar. I'm hoping that everybody who's gotten here, and again, I'm hoping, you guys are in, okay? So let's see this thing through. I was a little surprised at the number of people who were kind of dropping out at the last minute last time. We left a little bit of room for you to pull it together. Let us know ahead of time if there's a problem. We will help you get through it. If you're having trouble reaching that deadline, contact us before deadline day. This stuff, I'd like to say that this stuff should be pretty self-explanatory. We're pretty accessible here. I will jump on the phone. We will get a Skype going. Check in with us. Let us know if you're having trouble. Any way we can help, we will. That's what this is all about. At the same time, guys, you got into this, okay? I'd like to see you take it seriously and follow through. We had a little bit of a scurry at the last minute, trying to keep things going. And I understand that life gets in the way, and I understand, but some of it is simply, I think it's more prone in that first round, because not everyone is fully clear on the expectations, maybe. Maybe they haven't read right through everything or understood the competition completely. And that was clear about a few of you, and I understand. But I'm not going to understand anymore, okay? You're in. We're getting into the next round. We're well into this thing now. I want to see you guys see it through. And then you owe it to yourselves. Come on, we're putting the time in. You guys are putting the time in, and the opportunities are here for you because of it. So no more dropouts. The next person who does is getting a visit in there. It's getting a face-to-face visit from me. And I don't care if you fucking live in Vancouver. I'm coming. I'm bringing Amy with me too. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see her mad. You just don't want to see it.
It's adorable and terrifying.
Jonathan, do claps reset for each round? Yeah. So it's not it's not cumulative claps for that character. Okay. Each round is an individual thing. You guys are voting on. That people are voting on. Each round, we are going to reward individual clappers. We've been talking about prizes for that kind of stuff. Because hopefully it's not. I mean, for whoever's doing it, we've got a nice kids base. We're doing it too. I suspect that the really massive clappers are not some kid at home. There may be a more concentrated effort on your parts for friends and family. But those individual Startooners, those fans, those are cumulative. We're gonna reward them. We may find a way to give a prize to somebody who has the most cumulative claps. But each round is its own. We start fresh. So. Let's say Frico is not carrying his claps over from round 1 into round 2. That video will start fresh when it comes up next, okay? There you go, Jonathan. That answers that one, okay? Reese is, Reese, yes, exactly. Spread the word. Let's build a cult of fear around Amy. That'll do me a lot of good in the long run. What else you got? I think Sean has a question. Is it okay to ignore some of the comments that you and the judges made if we can justify? Dude, it's still your film. Yeah, totally. That's there for feedback, and I mean that's part of the development process anywhere. It's still your creation, and you have to do what is right for it, and only you can really decide that. We're here to provide as much support, as much feedback, as whatever we can to help you through it and make those decisions with as much information as possible. But it comes down to you and what you want to be doing with this. And that could take it in a direction that maybe isn't viable for kids 6 to 11 comedy. But if that's what this is, that's what it is. Like, we talk about that a lot in terms of you don't want to break something. If it's a preschool project, if it's an adult project at its heart, because that's what your voice really is, then that's something you're going to discover. That this is, you're being true to your voice, and this is your voice, and maybe it belongs somewhere other than 6 to 11. Great. At the same time, you look at the feedback and you decide for yourself, and that's what a creator does. So that is yours. That's your call. Okay, Sean. Yeah, because there was a lot of discussion over yours, and it was some sweeping. There was some potentially sweeping kind of notes that could change it quite a great deal. But yeah, just that's your call, man. That's your call. Andy Greeling joined. Andy, hi. I did tell the group that we were going to think about maybe trying to get you to do one of these. We had talked about maybe doing it for this week because I was away yesterday and we were going to do it but it didn't come together for this week. So we'll see. If we can do one with me and Andy, great. But I think you guys are probably getting sick of hearing me talk. So if someone who's been through it before might be answering these questions a little better than I can. So all votes for Andy doing next week's. Is next week's the best? Would next week be a good time to do it? How many weeks are we from the next round? I think it's kind of midpoint, right? Yeah. I've lost all track of time because of yesterday. Because of not being here yesterday, my calendar is no longer real to me. It just took one day to do it.
Next Monday's a holiday.
All right. So we'll be going out. So that's also important to say. Next Monday is the Canada Day holiday, so we will not be doing this on Monday again. So once again, our Monday nooner will not be taking place on Monday. I believe we'll try to do it Tuesday at noon. If that's the case, I'm going to check my calendar, make sure there's nothing crazy there. But that being said, Andy, maybe next Tuesday at noon you want to do a Facebook Live to this group and answer their questions. I'll hop on here as a commenter and be around to help out. But maybe hearing from someone who's been through it and is currently going through it would be a nice break for me and a nice break for the Startooners. So what do you think, Andy? Answer my question. Commit. I know you're here. You just said howdy. Commit, Andy. Next Tuesday at noon. Next Tuesday at noon, or 9 a.m. your time. Yeah, I know there's a little delay. I know. So I'm going to wait it out. See if he pops. Oh, maybe. You fucking jerk.
Hey, no swears.
That swears. Sorry, you fudging. What would Kimmy Schmidt say?
You tell him to shut his wet mouth.
We shall see. Oh my god. How non-committal is that? I'm going to announce, hey everybody. Like I'm typing it. Andy Greeling is going to do the next live update.
You can't do that.
Tuesday, July, July 3rd? July 3rd, noon.
No, sorry, 4th.
4th. Tuesday, July 4th, noon Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, Andy. There. It's on the internet now. It's real. Okay, yeah, we'll see what we can do. All right. Okay. So if there are any other questions, what are we talking about? So quick recap. Congratulations, Ali Kellner, for getting your film into Animation Block Party. Awesome news about G-Kids opening up their new Animation is Film Festival in October. Check out Fred Kennedy's podcast, Issue Zero podcast, with Brett Jubinville, for them to just talk about all kinds of stuff that we don't talk about, just to prattle on and on. Eric Bauza, Laura Dalglish, Tunes on Tap, Tabitha Fisher last week, and this week the Raid Studios Comics and Animation Part 1 coming out Wednesday night. I don't know, I could also just go on and on about watching Trainspotting 2 yesterday, because that was awesome. Yeah, I teared up on more than one occasion, and not because of the content, because of the filmmaking itself. I don't know, I'm a big fan, and it was pretty baller. It was, just to see such. I don't know. I like the first movie. I'm a big fan. Fan of the source material. Certainly, they don't. The Mummy was not awesome. Brad, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to yourself? There are options right now, and you went to see The Mummy. Brad, dude. Yeah, I know. So it's like Danny Boyle's making these movies. I mean, the interesting thing for me was actually today going and looking at his IMDb and finding out how many movies that he's made that I have absolutely no interest in seeing whatsoever. For a guy who's made some of my favorite movies of all time, he's made other movies that I just don't even want to watch, and some that maybe weren't that great. So it's very interesting filmography. But the films that he's made that I love so much, and I have utter filmmaker envy when you see something so fully realized in terms of all the pieces, from his story to his execution, and the way he weaves in, like the homage to his own film in terms of the first Trainspotting, and some of they're these they hit you over the head, these moments, but at the same time they're not he didn't just try to reproduce it. I don't know, I loved it. And I could only wish to ever make something that comes even, that touches on being that kind of film. Blew my mind. Brad, though, went to see The Mummy as a favor to his fiancée. She didn't want to watch Cars 3. So your pick was Cars 3? No accounting for taste. Okay. All right, Brad. All right. That's fine. I think we need to make a T-shirt. The Mummy was not awesome. That's our quote right now. The Mummy was not awesome. I think that's kind of it for me this week. Without getting off on a further tangent on the work of Danny Boyle and Trainspotting 2. He already saw Wonder Woman. Okay. There is a Guardians of the Galaxy movie out there if you're looking for some popcorn. I mean, come on. How bad can that be? It's on my list. We were actually almost going to go and see that, but we decided we'd rather order food in and just hide in our house because we're complete hermits. That's my life choice. Oh, you already saw it. Okay. Okay, well, this is kind of trailing off. We're at 3:36 p.m. We've been doing this for just a little over half an hour. Thank you guys for turning up again. If you have any other questions, now's the time. I can prattle on for about 1 more minute, and then I'm shutting this thing down. Who we got? We got Brad. Brad's still going. Brad, Andy. Andy, what about you, man? How are you doing over there? How are things coming along on Sunny and Bentley? You want to comment and share? Can you give us a little update, or throw an image up in the comments we can take a peek at? Come on. I mean, this is a little teaser for your big for next week's for your live debut next week. Throw something at us and get us curious. Oh, it's a secret. Look at you. Oh, because all those drawings you've been posting. Like, how NDA is everything else in your Facebook feed right now? Every random Sunny and Bentley sketch that I see. Jonathan, yes, okay, maybe that is. Maybe we'll just go out on that note. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in again this week on a Tuesday afternoon at 3:30 or 3 o'clock. And we will be back next week again on Tuesday at noon, 9 a.m. Vancouver time, with none other than Andy Greeling. And remember, everybody, the mummy was not awesome. Thanks for stopping by. Stop recording and live video.
All done.